Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, and today we are going to be talking about a lucrative passive income opportunity. Now, in terms of opportunity, I think that all of us have a massive opportunity in terms of the internet. The internet has opened a ton of doors for individuals to not only have multiple sources of income, but also make passive income where you don't even really need to put in too much work to actually get it started. Now, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about one opportunity. If I can get to all three, that's going to be great, but I doubt I will be able to in this short span of time. But it's going to be drop servicing. Drop servicing is huge. And if you guys don't know, basically I run multiple online businesses. I do crypto videos, YouTube videos, but that is just like a side thing. I actually run a full design agency. I also run online businesses through Shopify that also generate me, passive income that I barely have to do a lot of work to actually generate. And we're going to be talking about how you could also do this. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Yes, it does take work. Yes, it does take time. And yes, it does take starting capital, but it's a very little amount to truly start. Now, if you guys don't know who I am, like I said, basically I run a design agency. I have a full team behind me. I started this from the ground up. It took time. I basically just cold call and email market, and I get clients, and then I basically funnel those clients through a design agency where I basically have my team work on projects. Now, my agency, this is still in the process of being built out in terms of the website. I'm still building this website, and we are kind of relaunching the website. Before I was just doing, email marketing, but we have a massive amount of clients. We've done so many projects. We are 2 years active so far. Before this, I was doing online businesses through Shopify. I also worked with another design agency. And this is a very lucrative business as well because you don't need to be, some sort of, millionaire or anything to start a business. Businesses aren't supposed to be something that takes a ton of starting capital and risk. You could start a business tomorrow with $100, for an example, right? And it doesn't need to be something, as big as a design agency. Design agencies, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a ton of, planning. It's a very time hefty business. But in terms of drop servicing, you could drop service anything. And you do not need to be, again, you do not need to be a professional or anything like that or certified to do any of this. In fact, when we talk about drop servicing, you might be wondering what the heck even is drop servicing? How does it work? Well, basically, this is how it works. You have a client that needs a service and is willing to pay money. You then drop service, basically through your business, selling the service to the client, making money as profit, and then, you basically go to the service provider who provides the service at a cost of service, and it's a big loop. Best part about this business is not only are you making passive income, but you are also having a write-off in terms of taxes, in terms of cost, meaning any sort of amount that you are paying for that service is a perfect write-off in terms of taxes. There's a lot of, lucrative ways to actually write off, the amount of money that you are making through this because it actually does cost quite a bit to do drop servicing. And when I say that is, I mean, basically you want that client to pay 50% up front, and usually they will, as long as you are a good salesman. In fact, in terms of my design agency, I always get 50% up front and then 50% once the product is, completed and it is fully approved. Usually this does work. If it doesn't work and you want to have just you want to get the, service done and then get paid, that's totally fine too. I usually like to get at least a 50% deposit. Now, with this in mind, you need to pick what you are going to drop service. I always say pick something that you are used to doing. Design, I have been doing design since I was 12 years old. I am self-taught in graphic design. I didn't go to school for it. Again, you do not need to go to college for anything as long as you are willing to put in the time and effort. Of course, yes, this is not the case with everything, but in terms of graphic design, I am self-taught since 12 years old, so I figured, why not drop service graphic design? Because it's something pretty easy. Now, you could drop service anything. In fact, if you are in crypto, if you love art, then you could even drop service NFT projects. I know, it's pretty crazy. Now, this does require a lot of starting capital, but these are individuals that will make generative, NFT art collections. This does take a ton of work, just so you guys know. And like I said, it does take a lot of capital. This is like $1,000 in terms of a 10,000 NFT collection. But when we talk about this, this could be something very lucrative if done right. But this does take a lot of time and effort. I'm in the middle of actually building out an NFT project myself. But just be aware that this does take a ton of starting capital and time. Now, if you wanted to drop service something, again, it could be anything that you want to drop service. And I've always said, make sure to pick something that you are actually good at, experienced in. You can even drop service physical services, meaning if you actually advertise around your local area, say for so, I don't know, landscaping, right? And you actually go through, individuals that are freelance carpenters, landscapers, whatever, that works perfectly as well. You could drop service anywhere, digitally, physically, either one. But always pick something that you are good at. For an example, or experienced in, I should say. We have search engine optimization. That is a huge lucrative business. I've actually done that drop service business and made quite a bit. In fact, monthly income from drop servicing SEO could be as upwards as $10,000 to $20,000 plus. It's actually a very lucrative business, and it does not require too much starting capital. In fact, when we take a look at SEO, you can do SEO for anything, and a lot of businesses will pay for SEO marketing because it does generate them a lot of income. Again, you need to market it precisely. You still need marketing capability and sales. I would say you need to know how to sell, right? You need to know how to sell yourself and sell your service to these individuals that will, basically utilize you to make money off of their business. SEO is a great way to really kind of market to businesses because businesses at the end of the day want to make more money. They want to have more clients. How do they get those clients? Well, guess what? They would need to have SEO marketing. Search engine optimization is basically where you search something and they are the first that comes up on Google. This is a great way to really kind of also sell to businesses like, for an example, my design agency. You could basically market it to me and say, hey, how many clients do you have a month? All right, well, how about we take it, 2 times that amount because of SEO marketing? Things like that would help a lot. Now, also, you can do link building, guest posting, ad copywriting. Ad copywriting is a huge lucrative business as well. I've actually done that. You could actually cold market with that. And what I mean by that is you could find a business, okay? For an example, you could search up business, logo design. You can kind of scroll through here, find one. For an example, I found this design agency actually. This is Brands Designs or brandsdesign.com. Now, their website looks pretty good, looks strong. In terms of their services, I can go to their logo design service, for example, and see here, affordable logo design agency. If you want your customers to interact with your brand, give it an approachable face in the form of a logo. Our logo design creators can help. Now, this doesn't sound that great. We'd want something very, very strong in terms of a selling point. And ad copyright is basically you taking this and making it more engaging to a client. So maybe you could be like, empower your brand through a very strong and bold logo brand that is going to, I don't know, you can pretty much just, make it up on the spot or really kind of plan it out. But that is a very big market as well because, again, as a business, they want to have something that is going to be converting. And when I say converting, it's converting somebody who's a visitor on your site to a customer. And then also video creation, video editing, etc., graphic design. Again, I drop service graphic design. It's one of my bread and butter, businesses. And when we talk about this could be anything. And a lot of these sites, like for example, Fiverr, you have even 99 Designs, Upwork as well. Upwork is very good. This is, you could do, development and IT, design and creative, sales and marketing, writing and translation, admin and customer support, and there's so much other things here as well, finance and, accounting. You can really kind of look through here, find something that, speaks to you, and you could really kind of just drop service it. It's pretty lucrative. I mean, it's great because, yes, in the beginning, it does require some starting time and capital. But if you look here and you just say, website design, right? Any business really does need a web design, but the best way to sell a web design isn't by saying, hey, your website kind of sucks. Did you want a new website? No. In fact, you want to say, do you want your website to be more engaging? Do you want it to convert more visitors to customers? Well, we have the perfect opportunity, and then you kind of just sell it. A lot of this is going to be cold marketing, though, meaning you're going to reach out to individuals and try to sell your service. This is not as easy as most people make it out to be, but if you have what it takes to be a salesman or a saleswoman, this is huge. This could be a massive lucrative business. We look at things like this, though, and you kind of look through and see, their past work and really kind of see if their web design services are actually pretty good. You kind of want to look through and see what is, going on here. Is it worth the money? Like, for an example, this would be one screen / page. 3 pages, complete web design, 7 pages, $350. You could easily sell a full web design because this is actually going to be get an interactive and clickable layout design in Adobe XD, Figma, PSD, plus icons / fonts, plus video preview. This could technically be something that you could sell for over $3,000, possibly even $1,000, depending on the quality. Realistically speaking, again, it's going to require startup capital, but you don't need to, like for an example, like with something like this, you actually only need to have a strong portfolio. And you might be wondering, well, how do I even put together a portfolio if I don't actually do web design? You kind of want to utilize some sort of, service like this. And the reason why I say this is like, when you look at a portfolio, you can kind of utilize some of these images if you are going through this, seller. Again, the best way that I kind of look at this is like, it's similar to my design agency. Like I said, this is a work in progress, but when we look at this, I have this like our recent work, and this is like our previous work here. Like, this is just one project. We're still building this out, but in terms of this is actually a full project breakdown. I have a portfolio. This is a portfolio from individuals' work that they have done with my design agency. And when you look at this, you could actually build this through websites that you are either, doing for clients, or through, something like this where you are utilizing a seller. Maybe they have a portfolio. You could show them their portfolio and kind of sell it then. But a lot of this is very lucrative because you can look through here. You can go to the best sellers. You can go to recommend it, newest arrivals. You can even go to pro services, etc., even seller details. You can really kind of see which one is the top rated as well. This is a very good way to kind of look at it because these are individuals that have been doing a ton of, web design, for an example. Like this one's like an NFT website, right? Like you could build out an NFT project if you want and stuff like that through that individual. Or you can kind of go through this seller that is going to be doing a responsive e-commerce website. So this would be a niche. You want to pick a niche. E-commerce websites are things that are in demand, especially now as more individuals are moving towards passive income. E-commerce websites are huge. Now this would be a 10-page max, $400. This would be something pretty interesting. I mean, these websites actually look pretty strong. If you wanted to click on them and really kind of zoom in, I could actually kind of open this in a new tab so that we can kind of see it. So here we have it. Looks pretty strong, looks pretty engaging. I would say that this looks very good, especially from a perspective of a designer. I think that this looks great, and I think that a lot of these, in terms of portfolio pieces, could be very strong. And you could actually contact these sellers and ask them if they would be up to becoming a drop service individual for you, aka a freelance artist or basically contractor, and they will most likely be up to it because you are bringing them more business, which means they are making a lot more money. Now, in terms of this, you can easily contact the service, get a quote, ask a question, and stuff like that. Now, with this in mind, this would cost $400 per website, so you'd want to at least sell it. Maybe because you also have to cover taxes and things like that, maybe sell it for $1,000, make $600 on the back end on every single website, and that's pretty strong. Now, like I said, considering the quality of these websites, you can most likely sell this for over $1,000. You could probably sell it for at least $1,500. It all depends on, how much money you want to make off of these and how strong the quality actually is. Is it worth $1,000? That's what you got to ask yourself, because you don't want to overcharge clients. and I've dealt with this even with my design agency. As long as you are a good salesman, though, you could sell anything at any dollar figure amount. That does not mean to be greedy and overcharge. Always have a fairly strong, price. Always know the worth of not only yourself, but also the individual that is making the work for you. And even in terms of drop servicing, you could even offer these individuals more money. A lot of the individuals that are on Fiverr, Upwork, etc., are mostly from third world countries that are offering these services for, a lot cheaper prices because it doesn't cost as much, in terms of their time compared to our economy, in terms of livable income. So I always like to offer them more money than what they are actually charging just because it helps them out a little bit more and it helps their family. I would say do that because, again, these individuals most likely need, the money. And when we talk about this, we go on to the next stages. So you picked your niche, you picked your, individual that you want to utilize for the service. Now you want to, get your domain. I utilize GoDaddy. GoDaddy is the best for this. And this is if you want to actually go full on into a business type. You could do cold calling and cold emailing and sell these services for, basically free, if you will. All you are doing is, calling and emailing, and when you get a client, then you go and purchase the service and provide that client with the service. Or you could run an online business. Now this does cost money and it does cost a monthly, charge. For an example, you can go to GoDaddy and grab a website for 1 cent for the first year. After that, it's about like $11.99. But this is actually very, very cheap. And it's something to really kind of get you, into the starting position. And you could also get a website from Shopify for 14 days free in terms of their 14-day trial. Now, with this in mind, you are going to have to build out your, entire website. If that is something that you are not capable of doing, also you're going to need a logo. Again, if that's something that you're not, able to do, guess what? You already know where to go. Fiverr. Fiverr is the best way to do this. You can go get a logo. For an example, you can go to Logo Business, and you can find individuals that will design a logo for your business. And here you can pretty much go and buy a logo. And if it is good quality, guess what? You can even drop service the logo if that is something that you are, again, interested in and something that you know about. Again, choose a service that you are familiar with, that you are aware of, that you actually are experienced with, because if you are not experienced with it, how will you actually know how to sell it? But this is for anything. For an example, you could do lifestyle, greeting cards, videos, online tutoring, gaming, astrology, and physics, or psychic, and things like this. Even traveling, fitness lessons, anything. You could find anything that you are familiar with or good at. There's music and audio, anything. So when we talk about this, you could drop service anything. To start, it's going to take some starting capital and time. I would say do more research on this to make sure that you are understanding exactly how to do this. Have a plan ahead. This is going to take some time. It's going to take trial and error as well. But once you get the hang of it, you could basically drop service anything. And I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of businesses doing this. For example, even this design agency is most likely doing this, especially with a lot of their, services. Essentially, look at it like this. Okay? Even on Amazon, when you purchase an item, most of the time it is drop shipped. So when we take a look at drop servicing, this is very lucrative because there's no shipping process if it is a digital item or digital service. And it really does provide a lot of capital once done correctly. Like I said, trial and error. It took me some time to actually get proficient within this area. But once you do get the hang of it, it is going to be something pretty interesting, and it's going to make you a ton of passive income, as it has for me as well. So with that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter, and also join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.